tens of minutes, and we teach that to the storms. But look at the lowering right there. That is a ballpark somewhere. And again, look at that shot. Dramatic shot now. We're getting the great contrast in the sky today. We thank everybody for sending these in. The address is pictures at abc3340.com if you've got images. And that is hail that accumulated this afternoon. We have had multiple reports, probably dozens and dozens of reports of large hail today. In many cases, I think the largest report I saw was 3.5 inches in diameter. And that is the size of a teacup. And again, that is, I think, fairly good representation of what we have seen in the storms out there today. So again, so far so good, but remember, this event is just really in the beginning stages here. And we saw that boater out there. We obviously don't want anybody out there in boating, mariners, if you've got an active tornado warning. And again, that hail is something that is very problematic, and that it can cause enough damage your car and things like that. So let's go back to the radar. Just thought I'd show some of the viewer images that have come in here this afternoon. And that's the storm that has prompted a severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby and Bibb counties. This is a small, isolated storm out there by itself, and we're going to look in the back flank of this thing. And again, it's got this V-notch configuration. It means the upper winds have to move around the actual updraft core, and this thing has broad rotation east of West Blockton. And that's going to be coming over here into the community of Marvel. This is in Bibb County out around the Cahaba River. And again, there's no tornado warning here, but just that is a fairly suspect area right now, and we'll keep an eye on that. I would not be totally shocked if at some point the Weather Service had to consider a tornado warning in effect for that. But again, for now, it's a severe thunderstorm warning for Bibb and Shelby counties. We'll go back to the storm that is over on the eastern side of the state, the one that is coming across northern Calhoun and northern Cleburne. Again, the storms there will be in Georgia in a matter of minutes, and that's a good thing. But this thing still packs a punch. It's in the process of moving out of northern Calhoun into northern Cleburne. And it seems like within the past few minutes, it's lost its southward component of motion. Occasionally, and these always don't go in a straight line. Sometimes they will clearly veer off of the standard trajectory. And again, it looks like it's moving more east perhaps at this point now than southeast. But whatever, the greatest risk is going to be out here across the northern part of Cleburne County. This is the Georgia border right here. And again, that broad rotation is over here. The tornado impact is at a 4.6, about mid-range right there. And again, that seems to be riding along our warm front that has been so problematic today. And that will be in Georgia in a matter of about 15 minutes from now. So for about 15 more minutes, it's 3:50 right now. I think by 4:05, this thing will be completely over into Georgia. So that's where we stand, and that's the one tornado warning. And again, technically, it's not in our television market. This is off in the Atlanta television market, and again, that will be in Georgia soon. Let's check on those storms north of Montgomery real quickly, Jason. These have been very active this afternoon. We still have tornado warnings in effect down here. We know this is the Montgomery television market, yet many people are watching us via the internet down here. And again, this is Elmore County, and that is Autauga County. And I would imagine that this storm here perhaps was involved in that. Let's look at the
That was the original storm.
Yeah, I think that's the one that came through that Pine Level exit. Yeah, there's your polygon warning, and again, you can see that this polygon includes Wetumpka, does not include Montgomery. Of course, that's the river right there. But again, that is all well to the south of us, just to let you know. And again, we're going to get Ashley to call in. Let's check Ashley's live stream. We'll see how... Okay. We got Bill Castle out, too. We'll check Bill's in just a moment. This is Ashley Brand. Ashley is in Storm Chaser 3340. And again, I think we're going to get into a fairly quiet period here, maybe for the next hour or two, where we're going to have a lull in the action. This initial wave moves into Georgia, and the atmosphere kind of reloads. And the dew point, Tuscaloosa, up to 69. But again, we're going to get Ashley on the phone and kind of get her take. The nice thing about having a meteorologist in the field is that she can, kind of make the observations there in the van and tell us the things we want to know and get the feel for things out in the field. It is often so much easier to work outside than it is to work inside with all this fancy equipment. But again, we'll get her in just a moment as soon as she calls in. Again, you're looking at the radar, and the storms that are approaching Ashley are coming out of northern Bibb County. And again, Ashley will be intercepting that cluster of storms, as you see, that has come through West Blockton, and that's moving over into Shelby County right now. The core of that thing is going to be passing really between Alabaster and Montevallo. And Jason, you know that territory pretty well, don't you?
I do know that territory very well.
And again, that will be ultimately crossing over toward Calera. And no sign of any tight rotation there. There's broad rotation, but not enough for the Weather Service to trigger a tornado warning for that. So again, that is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Shelby and northern Bibb counties. And again, this does not include Centerville or Brent. This does not include Pelham or Helena or Hoover. This includes really primarily the areas south of Alabaster and Shelby County, down toward Pea Ridge and Montevallo and Maylene and Wilton. Okay. All right. And we're going to see what Jason, I'm going to let you take it for a second. I'm going to see if I can find Mr. Bill Castle, who is out in this mess.
Okay, well, just to run down again the warnings that we have in progress in this television market is only Bibb County and Shelby County under severe thunderstorm warnings. Calhoun County and Cleburne County are under tornado warnings, so we'll check in on that one. Most of this is now into Cleburne County, but there's still a little bit of rotation right on the county line. So if you're east of Highway 9 in Calhoun County, and there is not a lot of the county left, once you get east of 9, there's still potential for hail, high winds, and a tornado there. As James mentioned earlier, the report from our sky watcher Brandon Harris over in northern Calhoun County. He reported a wall cloud, a significant lowering there that was rotating rapidly. So when you have that, it doesn't take much, especially when you have a warm front close by or any kind of boundary, to actually turn that over into a significant tornado. Fortunately, no reports of damage as it's come out of Calhoun and now moving into Cleburne, and it's that northern end of Cleburne County, well north of U.S. Highway 78, that's under the tornado warning. Very soon we'll be able to drop Calhoun completely from this, but we'll continue to watch what's happening off to the west. Now, the way it looks on radar, round 1 is almost over for central Alabama. The eastern part of the state will still deal with some storms, and still to the southeast, you can see a number of severe thunderstorm warnings from Montgomery down through Bullock County, all the way down toward Phoenix City, Eufaula, and Columbus, Georgia. A number of counties here under severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings, but around here, the only strong storm that's left behind these couple that are in near the Anniston area and near the Montgomery area.
Let's take
back
Bill,
into Shelby
County. We got Bill Castle's camera. Let's take his. That's a pretty good-looking shot. Now, Bill is down in Shelby County, and he is, I believe, Vic, again, kind of tell me in my ear exactly where he is. He's close to Montevallo, I think. He is probably around Wilton and Montevallo, and Bill is looking right up in this. Okay, he's near Maylene. All right, he's south of Alabaster. Okay, so Bill is Maylene is about 8 miles or so south of the core of the middle of Alabaster, if you will, kind of between Alabaster and Montevallo. And again, Bill is looking right up into this. And again, we stress what Bill's looking at. That's very heavy rain. There's probably some hail, maybe up to the size of 1 inch. In fact, I'd say that's fairly likely that's falling in through there. But that kind of gives us the unique double view of the storm coming from Bill Castle's dash cam and our radar. And this is a lone storm that's very isolated. This is out there over northern Bibb and Shelby counties, and again, that's moving east. And we don't expect Bill to see a tornado at this point. But again, based on the atmospheric profiles we have today, and understand we did see at one point on that storm a TVS, a tornado vortex signature, as it was a little west of West Blockton. We have not seen one in the last 15 minutes, and there's no tornado warning on that storm, but again, that has prompted a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, that storm is in the process of crossing over from Bibb County into Shelby County. You can see it's fairly elongated there. If we were to have rotation, it's going to be back on that southwestern flank, and there's broad rotation. It's clearly there, and the radar, as you can see, back in northern Bibb County, and that's moving over in Bill's direction. So again, that's the reason we like to have all these dash cams and sky cams and web cams and tower cams all over the place, so we can actually see this stuff. It has really, really helped us here in the office over the past 10 years to be able to see this. And again, that broad rotation is clearly there, but again, we stress for Shelby and for Bibb, this is a severe thunderstorm warning and not a tornado warning. Maybe, is that hail falling there? I think Bill's trying. Okay, that is hail falling on Bill Castle right now. And Bill apparently is getting in the hail shaft. You see the dark shades of purple within that storm, and that is large hail. You can see that falling out there in that field. And again, I hope it's not large enough to break that windshield, Jason. You know, you've been on these Great Plains storm chases, and the last thing we want to do is get in the hail core.
Yeah, especially when you're talking teacup-size hail at the biggest, and that looks like it's fairly substantial.
It's big. I mean,
he's looking at that from a long way away.
Right. I mean, he's zoomed into that pretty far out there. And
Did we get an exact location on where he is?
He's near Maylene.
Near Maylene.
And again,
that's falling way out away from the heaviest hail core. So
yeah.
I would imagine that from Marvel to Dogwood and Shelby, from Bibb to Shelby County, in that elongated part of the storm, you probably have anything from 1 inch to 3 inch size hail. So you might be looking at $half to that teacup size that's coming down. That is significant. Big hail coming down in Shelby County,
okay.
Far away from the reflectivity core.
And again, Vic, if we have an audio operator, Ashley is trying to call in, and she is not getting an answer. So if they could kind of watch for Ashley's call, we want to get her on the phone. Ashley is about to be in the same storm that Bill Castle is in. Again, what you're watching in the lower left, that's large hail that is falling. From that storm, you see in radar that's on the box on the right that is in Shelby County, and Bill Castle of our staff is out right in the middle of that. And again, that's probably hailstones of 1/2 to 1 inch in diameter. It's just pretty good sized hail. I mean, usually when you see hail in a storm, it's, you know, pea-sized or something, but in this case, it's pretty large, and I think it's continuing to fall. And again, as soon as we can get Ashley on, we'll get her audio. Ashley is also out very close to this storm, but Bill seems to be right in the middle of it at this point. Again, it might be, you know, I don't know if the hail is actually falling on his truck or not. It might be actually a distance away in that field out there. But that you can see also this broad rotation right here. In this storm, and again, it's the broad rotation is sitting on the Shelby-Bibb County line. This is Shelby County, and this is Bibb County. Okay, we got Ashley on the line. Ashley, tell us where you are and what you've got.
I just caught you with the storm in the Bibb Shelby County line, and I am actually on that storm, but I am where it is just beginning to rain. I'm just off of 65. In fact, I'm actually looking at the weather service.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Vic, if you can take the radar full, I'm going to flip the streams back over to Ashley here, so hang on just 1 second. All right, go ahead, Ashley.
Okay, well, you know exactly where I am. I'm looking at the weather service office. Figured this was probably one of the better spots I could see. Let me get this camera turned around. But it's been one of those days where so far, you know, I've kind of been in between these storms.
Let's take Ashley's cam. We can now put Ashley's cam up, Vic. I've got her video established. We're swapping between your camera and Bill's camera. We've got your cam up now, Ashley, at the Shelby County Airport. So